Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor and welcome back to another Wargame Red Dragon gameplay video where we're playing with the Dutch German Armor Division, or the Netherlands German Armor Division that we made in the last episode. And, well, I do have a little bit of a confession to make. I've played quite a number of games lately, and I mean quite a number of games, and all of them turned into one-sided stomps. Typically, I don't know how. I started my own games and I joined others. I've always checked the win rates. They seem to be just about even. Sometimes skewed for my side, sometimes skewed against my side. Oh, up and down, this and that. But they all just keep turning into one-sided stomps. I don't know why. One, it's that I just got lucky or unlucky that I wasn't able to get any really good, exciting games to go. Two, Dutch-German armor is really as overpowered as all the memes said it is. Or three, just coincidence. Well, I don't know why, but played quite a number of Dutch-German. So I decided to do this game to show you guys, because otherwise I'm just going to keep playing games with this deck and never get anything good at the current trajectory that it was going on. And I do have other decks that you guys have requested that's a little bit backlogged. So I've decided to do this game out of all of them because it does have an interesting opportunity that we managed to do that don't always get to do on this map. Mainly is that over here I've got Black Widow here. He and I are going to go over to push into Juliet. We both have quite a bit of tanks. He's got Leopard 1A5s and a Leopard 2, basically cheaper tanks and such. I mainly have a bunch of infantry, and I'm bringing forward, starting off with a Super Daddy Leopard 2A5 NL. I also got a very good optic Leopard Verkenning with the HEOS non-radar guided Hawks for whenever they send aircrafts into us, because whenever you see tanks coming this way, usually an opponent's response is to bring in anti-tank planes to try to stop the tanks pushing forward, and so that's what the HEOS Hawks are. I'm also sending a small contingency force to secure Bravo, and then we're just trying to put a few infantry into this town to make sure that they don't try to push over here on this side. So anyways, I'm going to start and get this game underway. Going on very fast as the convoy over here is taking off. Now, I do decide to take a different route. All amphibious units are going to be going over here. I'm going to cross the river into this town. I just felt that might be a better approach. Whereas the non-amphibious units, these AMXs who've got the fire support in them, they're going to be just taking the long road because they're not amphibious. So here they go, cross the river, and they're going to be settling in there quite nicely. I'll put a Leopard Verkenning here into this woods just to be able to provide a little bit of sight. Now, all my units finally got into the position. I decided to unload all of my infantry here as a secondary line, just in case this goes badly, because usually this can go badly quite easily. MI2 comes up, and instantly the Flak Panther Gepard A1 with its stabilizer begins to just completely wipe that out, taking it just fine as my Leopard 2A5 NL is moving up. Now I'm waiting for these 5-point trucks to come forward. As you know, I use these as screening, and that goes especially well with a very expensive tank over here. But over here, the enemy is sending 4 T-72Bs going straight down against the enemy. These are 90-point tanks. They're going up against cheaper equivalents of them who are trying to desperately hold them off. 2 of the T-72s do go down, but their armor is to be able to hold up against the damage that these tanks are doing, but they are starting to die off. T-72Bs is down to the last one, and with the Leopards here, Leopard 2 does go down as the Leopard 1A5 is coming in. Does take out the T-72B. Here comes the A51 cluster munition. Now instantly my HEOSs do take it out, as my name is Khan did bring in an F-16 to also try to take that out. So now that my IHawks have spent 4 of their 6 missiles, I decide that I do need to resupply them, so instantly going to bring in a helicopter supply. That's what's good thing about helicopter. able to bring that forward. Looks like my Leopard for cannon did fire, actually fired quite a bit of shots against, looks like a bunch of vehicles that were coming down the center. I honestly did not notice that during this game. Leopard 285 NL, I move over to the right here, basically shoot at anything that comes down this road. Looks like they were trying to send in a anti-air unit back, but my Leopard 285 NL does take that out. And now that that is cleared, he is not going to be able to reach the range of the Shoka, so he's going to move back into the rest of this unit. Now all of these vehicles, they're just moving forward to see if they can find any CV, see if the infantry does shoot back. T-72B does shoot out, come out and shoot at the AMX PRI. Leopard for cannon is also going to engage, but does take a side shot from that the T-72B. Leopard for cannon fires another shot at the T-72B, which is now retargeted against these 5-point trucks. As the Leopard for cannon gets into the woods to be able to hide it better, the Leopard 285 NL is also coming forward. Leopard 1A5 also providing close, long-range support. Missile from T-72B misses by a mile as the Leopard 2A5 NL does take that out, and the UAZ is spotted. Instantly, the MG3 are going to be opening up, see if we can whittle that down with machine gun fire. Do take that out, and instantly that cuts off their reinforcement point right there. BMP2s are going to unload a bunch of Monostroke and going to be opening fire with their ATGM missiles. Take out the Black Panther Gepard A1 as my helicopter is finally coming back to resupply those IHawks. Tankish shall also take out the last of the 5-point trucks, and it's fine since they're 5 points. I'm not too worried about losing them. As the F-16 Block 10 unloads cluster munition over to where those BMP2s are, but I have no idea if they're still alive. Well, they were, but the cluster munition did successfully take them out with their 8 AP power. The Leopard 1A5 from Black Widow also goes down, and this is where I am just holding back. You never want to move tanks close to a building, because that's just instant death with the teleporting ability that infantry have when they are near buildings. Over here on the right, the enemy does make a play of their own. T-72Bs are going to be pushing into this side. They've got a PTZ-88 radar piece backed up with the TO-55 napalm tank. I have brought in some infantry, but to be honest, I brought them in to come over here. This is just a path that they decided to take when they came out. I instantly unload, trying to get something to be able to shoot at these units, but the M8 AGS do come out. I unload the Stotroopen and the Vulperk to see if I could get the ATGM missiles to acquire those tanks, but the T-72Bs are moving that way, and I decided I'm never going to catch them, so it's time to load the infantry back up into their vehicles and head to their original destination, which will be here into Juliet. In the meanwhile, Black Widow's moving up his Leopard 2 CV. It's the same Leopard 2 CV that I have in this deck as well, so this would be a good time to show it off. Being able to come into this forest line, it's also able to provide fire support from this back line here. He just needs to keep an eye on it, and every time it fires, be mindful that he wants to probably move it so that nothing bad could happen to it. And meanwhile, this Z9A is coming, trying to make a sneaky back play maneuver against us. Comes into the machine gun fire of these mortars, but my Fliegerfaust does successfully take it out with its Stinger missile as it comes into range. And in the meanwhile, I've got all the infantry all set up into this side here. As you can see, we are starting to steamroll them. YPRs are finally going to come across down this road. They're going to get into where this village is, which I originally wanted. And now that this Leopard 2 has taken control of it, we can now bring in infantry of our own. Black Widow is bringing forward some more infantry in those 5-point trucks. And meanwhile, these Hushwa Song Chongs are being hit by these paladins that Khan has. So I don't see too many paladins. A UAZ is coming up, probably desperately trying to keep us from resupplying or capturing Juliet, but seeing that there's Jaegers here, has to be forced to turn around. Modus truck, we are moving forward, going to be trying to engage these 5-point trucks, but the Jaegers completely start ripping apart with the powerful MG3s that they have, forcing them to retreat. The Jaegers are likely going to pursue. Tornado IDS is moving, going to make a guess where that CV is, and doesn't look like it hit it, as that CV probably just kept running. Leopard 2 is moving forward. My Bloomberg 895 are going to be opening up with their Super Dragons, as well as my Flag Propelled firing at the MI4. Bloomberg's makes the correct shot and take it out. UAZ is now taken out by Black Widow's own 5-point trucks. As the Q5D is moving up, dropping the super expensive heavy bombs against the 5-point trucks. Those bombs are probably worth more than the vehicle that they just killed. But Bale's looking for seed, not able to find it, but they do find a anti-seed, anti-air, or non-radar anti-plane AA, which almost successfully take it out, but not quite. My Volperg 95s are moving up into this building compound here. I'm also moving forward a CV into Echo to take over to give us a little bit of more point advantage as we continue to push forward. And it looks like Khan's going to capture another 5-point here into Gulf. M8 AGS does take out the recon squad that does come down the road. And here comes another bunch of planes, which is always the proper panic response. The problem is that you don't have much stuff on the ground. A lot of those missiles hit the Leopard 2A5, but because of its strong 22 front armor, does successfully survive it, and the IHawk HEOS do take out those anti-tank planes. TO-55 engages with its kinetic round gun. It's its AP power, so it doubles in terms of anti-tank and anti-air. Now, an SU-27SK, I actually turned my Block 10 the moment it got behind it, instantly hit that evac button. Now, the SU-27SK actually turned. This doesn't actually usually happen, but it did turn towards the Block 10. Fortunately, its missiles did miss, as my Block 10 did get away. AMX PRI is going to try to stop this helicopter spam push of Mi-4 AVs that are coming down, trying to stop us and counteract. Unfortunately, I've got a Cheetah here that's going to be able to open up quite quickly with its radar gun to quickly take out these Mi-4 AVs. One of the missiles do hit from the Mi-4 AV, and the Cheetah does get taken out, but my Black Panther Gepard 2, the Gepard A2 with the Gepard A1, PVAD, we bring in all the anti-air to basically take out these helicopters that have come forward. I mean, look, this is all AA right here. But we do have a TO-55 that could cause quite a bit of trouble. And meanwhile, my Leopard 2A5NL has pushed forward and is basically going to be engaged in any vehicle that it can. Looks like a Q5D is going to be trying to make a guess of HE where the Leopard 2A5 is. It missed. A SA-342 Hot engages at close range with its anti-tank missiles and misses. Leopard 2A5 is going to keep moving, but it's going to unload this machine gun, see if it can hit this helicopter, which misses another missile. But the third missile does finally hit the charm, so it does going to have to go back and reload because it uses hub 3 of its 4 missile ordnance. Cheetah takes a hitting from, looks like, a ATS 103. Looks like an mobile gun from the North Korean side. My Cheetah does get behind the trees in time so that this ATS cannot kill it. And the Cheetah's side armor does be able to withstand the AP power of the ATS, so that was quite good. Bringing forward a Leopard 2A4. This was all the points I really could have right now. And so this is going to proceed forward to try to basically be the front line for this AA units right here, which currently are sitting ducks. In the meanwhile, Leopard 2 is going to be moving up, these Leopard 2s are going to be moving up under the direction of Black Widow. Now here is a helicopter that's just out of nowhere, just minding its own business, hovering slightly, wasting fuel. Not really, but it's supposed to in real life. So I decide, why not let the Cheetah have a fresh kill? So I just send that over. But here comes 4 BMP-2s. I do have a Leopard 2A4 in position that could one-shot these if they get into the proper position, but he must have seen the Leopard 2s coming forward, so he does turn his BMP-2s towards them. The Peace Rhine comes forward and misses the ATS, which was quite unfortunate. Looks like an IDS did take out that helicopter. That's one way to take out a hovering helicopter. Just drop 4 500-kilogram bombs on it. Hot does fire its missile, but misses the 5-point truck. BMP-2 also discovers the problem with the fact that it can't really target vehicles that go into trees, that are hiding behind trees. Supply helicopter does stop, but the H7 does take out the supply helicopter, and that was a bit unfortunate. In the meanwhile, I'm finally moving up my HEOSs. I'm bringing forward a Man Caddy 6x6 to repair it. My Leopard 284 comes up to say hi, instantly goes into reverse to go down below the ridge line so we can have time to reload. Once it gets time to reload, it's going to move back up and try to shoot at these tanks. Or rather, it was supposed to, but instead decided to acquire these Motastroki, which was a very bad choice on its part. Instantly has to turn, try to engage his ETQ, hits one of them, takes it down to 1 health, and then does get taken out. That was definitely a bad mismanaged micro on my part. Apache's going to be firing its hellfire against these ETQs, just successfully take out 1. But Bales are going to target, it looks like my HEOS. But does, don't know how it was targeting my HEOS if a Bale was a seaplane, and these are definitely non-radar. Well, anyways, Kyler's going to be opening up against its autocannon main gun. This is why the Kyler is king. The autocannon really rips apart enemy infantry, and with the main gun, as powerful as it is, makes a pretty good tank. A Z9A is going to be engaging with its anti-tank missiles, and Kyler does need to go into full reverse immediately, try to outrange those missiles. Now decides to take it to the face like a boss. Doesn't quite work out for it though. My plane, my helicopter that was spotting for us does get taken out as I bring in a reinforcement Leopard 285NL. All of these super heavies are definitely going to help us break through this. Peace Rhine engages with an infrared missile against an SU-27SK. PVAD shoots at the SU-27SK, but the Peace Rhine does go down. My HEOS is also missed, so the SU-27SK does get the kill. It's a little bit damaged, but it will shrug it off just fine. I originally was going to wait here with my Leopard 285 in case they counterattacked and brought in reinforcements, but seeing that Black Widow was jumping the gun and charging in with his Leopard 185s, I decided, well, he needs to have a Super Daddy to come and protect him. So in comes the Leopard 285NL right behind that. Instantly gets taken out by these hot missiles, which are actually some of the missiles that would be used against my Leopard 285NL. The TO does get taken out as the Leopard 285 has crested the horizon. Hot firing the last missile as it looks like a tank CV is right here as well as a bunch of Yangshi. Those Jaegers are not going to be able to hold up against those Zanshi for very long. Leopard 285NL is forced to retreat as that tank is taken out. Cheetah and FA, basically all my AA, decides to take out whatever plane was coming after my Leopard 285NL. Didn't hit it, but that was definitely a good thing to take out for future. Leopard 285NL is going to charge, completely unfearful of these BMP-2s. Going to try to get nice target positions once they reveal themselves. Then when vehicles do come out, instantly fires, misses those WZ-551s. Leopard 285 can continue to charge. Black Panther Gepard A2 is going to try to take out the Z9, but it is also taken out as well. That's quite unfortunate. Leopard 285NL is going to keep charging for them, just basically see what I can get. The enemy's probably not expecting me to throw this Leopard forward too far. That Hot is definitely doing quite a bit of damage with its missiles, heading the front armor, and this Leopard 285 is going to have to retreat. Going to throw the reverse into it, I feel. Does take out whatever was hiding there, and with the huge massive bomb, that tank CV is taken out, and the Jaegers emerge victorious. IHawk HOS is going to be finally moving up onto this tree, which would basically shut down their entire air corridor as soon as they are rearmed with missiles. Fortunately, these Man Caddy 6x6 are carrying those missiles to be able to put right back on. Leopard 285 is still surviving against this Hot helicopter, which is resupplying at the FOB. I think the Leopard 285NL is trying to acquire it, but some Z9As are coming forward, so Leopard 285 is going into reverse. Does get out of range as the missiles do fly off their mark. He is going to retreat to try to get into this Man Caddy 6x6, see if he can get repaired. Leopard Verkenning is going to move up in its place as the Leopard 285 is continuing to move forward, trying to get into the trees to hide from the helicopters, but does get side-shotted, so that is an expensive tank that I do lose right there, as they're definitely relying on their anti-tank helicopters to keep them out. Fortunately, they flew a little too close, and the IHawk HEOSs do manage to take them out with the 9 HE power. One missile kills both helicopters that were flying in formation. This is kind of why I don't keep my helicopters clumped up when they're going on anti-tank missions. Kind of spread them out to make sure that splash damage from these high explosive missiles don't kill multiple helicopters with one hit. M8 AGSs actually ran out of fuel. Ooh, autonomy only 450 kilometers. Are going to take quite a beating, especially since they're sitting ducks through this hot, unable to move. The best the crew can do is to bail out and try to retreat, or stay there and sacrifice themselves and shoot at anything that's stupid enough to come within range. Black Widows move forward with his Martyr and Leopard. In the meanwhile, massive push coming forward. For some reason, Khan has moved up his Paladins into direct fire range, which is kind of stupid because it only has 4 direct fire rounds and their AP power. Not quite sure why he did that, but this does clear the way so that my infantry and these 5-point trucks will move forward. The infantry will take the town. The 5-point trucks will skip past that and come straight here into India. SU-27SK comes close to a PVAD, and my Hawk HEOSs does take out the second one, which does have to go flying down into the ground. Leopard 2A5NL is coming forward with the Leopard Battalion to see if he can spot and basically shoot over this ridge and anything that might possibly come forward. M8HES does take out that Hot with its machine gun. That's interesting. Unless the PVAD helped it. I'm not sure. MI4 is going to come forward with his PKT against an M8 AGS. Okay, I know it has very little armor, but I highly doubt that the PKT is going to do any damage to it. Ah, that's it. The PVAD did shoot down that helicopter. I thought the M8 AGS did. And meanwhile, Li Zhan and Bochang Su, they're going to try to stop my vehicles from moving past, but the Stotroopen and the AMX PRI are going to pepper those Li Zhuans until they are pretty badly damaged. BGS are going to move up into this town to help out the Stotroopen as they make an assault push. Stotroopen are better anti-assault because they do have better stabilizers, which is why I brought them in instead of the Panzer Grenadiers and their Marauder 2s. However, the napalm rockets do quite a bit of damage as the Stotroopen do finally make it into the building, but only one less squad and it's at half strength. And meanwhile, it looks like we got the CV in India. The enemy is still in this game, and as you can see, no sectors are captured. Ah, they put in a new CV here into this forest area. Leopard 2A5NL is going to keep charging forward, see if it can stop anything. BMP2s are moving up. I am going to try to get this Leopard 2A5NL into this under this cliffside so that it could not be targeted by the BMP2 missiles. And meanwhile, they do acquire my Leopard 2A5, which is able to take those missiles to the face and survive just fine. BMP2 only have 20 AP power. Leopard 2A5 has 22 front armor. So it's going to definitely take quite a bit of those missiles to take it out. BMP2 is destroyed. Pabeo's coming forward with anti-radar missiles. Gus gets stunned up. My Flak Panther Gepard A2 does take it out with its stinger as these tanks and Flak Panther Gepards are moving in 1-2 punch. They actually get a side shot on another Leopard 2A5 and take it out. A little bit careless with them, but at this point we are massively winning the game. Beast Brian does come forward, takes out the vehicle as these tanks are going to be taken out by the remaining tanks that are moving forward. Black Widow's moving up the Martyrs and Leopard 2A1s under with my force. Kyler's moving up, basically saying I'm contributing. Another CV comes. Leopard Brickani does take that out. Does take out the one in India, and they're still in this game. So, unfortunately, this means that they're probably trying to hide a CV. An SX-250 is spotted by a Weasel, taken out quite quickly with its autocan. Peace Prime flies overhead. Nothing to do, can't see anything on the ground. And in the meanwhile, it's time for us to figure out where everything is going on. At this point, a lot of my vehicles are running out of fuel and are damaged, so I'm sending them to the FOB to reload. Nighthawk, Block 16 are flying overhead and unable to see the infantry down below due to how fast and high they are indeed flying. And we don't know where the enemy infantry is. It's good possible that they retreated them over here into this forest. There's a few hiding places that they can. Or they could be hiding out in plain sight because all of our units have terrible eyesight. Either way, that was the game. Complete and utter crushing victory on our side. The enemy probably was not expecting the double push that we did on the left-hand side and the successful way that we neutralized Juliet so they couldn't bring in reinforcements and were able to bring a CV to start bringing our own and then just push from that side through there. So a lot of kills, especially my Leopard 2A5. Vehicles did also get quite a bit. My Flagger Faust definitely shot down a number of good helicopters as well. Basically, just move together in formation, heavy tanks and AA, able to stop any opposing force if the enemy comes forward. Because I had such heavy tanks, so many of them, that as I was whittling out the ways of how my opponent could deal with those heavy tanks, they certainly found that they didn't have anything left to deal with them. So, anyways, that was Dutch German Armored, a little anticlimactic and quick, and one-sided, I know. But anyways, hope you have some inspiration on how to do a bit of a forward armored thrust. Please do like, comment, and subscribe down below, and also hit that little bell that's down there as well if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my Wargame videos or videos that I produce. And I will see you all in the next deck creations video.